Have you ever wished you could just snap your fingers and be somewhere else? Across the country, across the world, in an instant. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But what if I told you that over 400 years ago, a man might have actually done it? This is the baffling, mind-bending story of Gil Perez. The soldier who teleported our story begins on a seemingly ordinary day, October 24, 1593. But the place is anything but ordinary. We're in the Plaza Mayor, the very heart of Mexico City, thousands of miles across the vast Pacific Ocean from the Spanish colony of the Philippines. The city guards are on their usual patrol when they spot someone completely out of place. A soldier, dazed and confused, wearing a strange uniform they've never seen before. It was the distinct uniform of the palace guards in Manila. When the guards approached him, the soldier seemed disoriented. He identified himself as Gil Perez. He told them he was a member of the Filipino Guardia Civil and that just moments ago he had been standing guard at the governor's palace in Manila. He was tired, he said, feeling a bit dizzy, and then suddenly, he found himself here, in a place he didn't recognize. The Mexico City guards were baffled. Manila was on the other side of the world. A journey by sea took months. This man's story was impossible. But then, Perez delivered a piece of shocking news. He claimed that the governor of the Philippines, Gomez Perez Dasmarigas, had just been assassinated. He described the event in grim detail, saying the governor had been betrayed and killed by Chinese rowers during an expedition. The guards in Mexico City didn't know what to make of it. Was this man a madman, a deserter spinning a wild tale to cover his tracks, or perhaps something more sinister? The authorities were deeply suspicious. Teleportation wasn't exactly a common explanation for appearing out of thin air. Accused of being a deserter and, worse, a servant of the devil, Gil Perez was thrown into prison. They interrogated him relentlessly, trying to break his story. But Perez never wavered. He stuck to his incredible claim. One moment, Manila. The next, Mexico City. He insisted on the truth of the governor's assassination, a fact no one in the Americas could possibly know. For 2 long months, Gil Perez sat in a cell, his fate uncertain. To everyone who heard his story, he was either a liar or insane. His tale was so fantastic, so utterly beyond belief, that it was dismissed as the ravings of a troubled mind. The officials in Mexico City had no way to verify his claims. The Philippines were a world away, and news traveled at the speed of the wind and tides, not at the speed of light. Perez was alone, his incredible truth his only defense, and it was a defense no one was willing to believe. Imagine the frustration, the fear, knowing you're telling the truth but having everyone look at you like you've lost your mind. And then, something happened that would change everything. A ship appeared on the horizon. It was the Manila Galleon, the trade ship that made the treacherous, months-long journey across the Pacific, connecting the Spanish colonies. The arrival of the galleon was always a major event, bringing goods, letters, and news from the Far East. But for Gil Perez, this ship carried something far more valuable: his vindication. As passengers and crew came ashore, they brought news from Manila. And the news was exactly what Perez had claimed 2 months prior. Governor Gomez Perez Dasmarigas was dead. He had been assassinated by his Chinese rowers on October 24, 1593. The very same day, Gil Perez had mysteriously appeared in Mexico City. Every single detail of Perez's account was confirmed. The timing, the manner of the governor's death, everything. The people who had dismissed him as a madman were now faced with an undeniable, impossible truth. But the most incredible piece of evidence was yet to come. Among the passengers on the galleon was a man who knew Gil Perez. He swore under oath that he had seen Perez in Manila, on duty at the palace. On October 24th, he even mentioned speaking with him shortly before he vanished. This testimony was the final piece of the puzzle. It proved that Perez wasn't a deserter who had somehow snuck across the ocean. He was in the Philippines on the day of the assassination, and then, inexplicably, he was in Mexico. Faced with this mountain of corroborating evidence, the authorities had no choice but to release Gil Perez. He was cleared of all charges. His story, once considered the work of the devil, was now documented as a historical fact by the Inquisition. According to the records, Perez eventually returned to the Philippines on the next galleon and resumed his old post, living out the rest of his life as a normal soldier, forever marked by his one extraordinary, inexplicable journey. So what really happened to Gil Perez? Was it a genuine case of teleportation, a glitch in the fabric of reality that whisked a man across the globe in the blink of an eye? Skeptics have tried to explain it away. Some suggest the story is just a folktale that grew over time. Others propose that Perez may have stowed away on a ship. But that doesn't explain how he knew about the governor's death instantly, or why a witness saw him in Manila on the day he appeared in Mexico. Could it have been an alien abduction, a wormhole, a strange undocumented natural phenomenon? The case of Gil Perez has fascinated historians and paranormal investigators for centuries. It remains one of history's most compelling and well-documented impossible events. Unlike many legends that are fuzzy on the details, this one is specific, with names, dates, and official records. It challenges our understanding of the world and the limits of what is possible. It's a reminder that sometimes, reality can be far stranger than fiction. The story of the teleporting soldier isn't the only one of its kind. Throughout history, there have been whispers and legends of vanishing armies and mysterious disappearances. In 1707, during the War of Spanish Succession, an entire army of 4,000 men allegedly marched into a valley in the Pyrenees Mountains and was never seen again. Search parties found no trace of them, no bodies, no equipment. It was as if they simply stepped out of existence. Then there's the famous legend of the lost Roman Ninth Legion, which supposedly vanished in the mists of Caledonia, or modern-day Scotland, around 128. While historians now debate the facts of their disappearance, the legend has persisted for centuries, capturing the public imagination. Could these events be connected? Are there rare, naturally occurring phenomena that can cause people or even entire groups to be transported or to simply disappear? Or are they just stories, cautionary tales, and legends that have been embellished over the years? The Gil Perez case stands out because of the level of detail and corroboration. It wasn't an army that vanished into the mist. It was one man, with a name and a story that was, against all odds, proven true. To this day, the story of Gil Perez defies easy explanation. It's a historical enigma wrapped in a paranormal mystery. A soldier's bizarre journey that forces us to question the very laws of physics. What do you think happened? Was it a miracle, a technological anomaly from the future, or just a very, very strange coincidence? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks for joining me on this journey into one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into the strange and unexplained. See you next time.